Vice President Dhankhar stresses need for AI regulation, transparency and ethics. Vice President Jagdeep Dhankhar, during the book release of AI on a trial, emphasized the importance of balancing AI regulation with innovation, cautioning about AI's risk and urging a transparent global approach to ensure public safety, legal clarity and ethical use of AI. Vice President Dhankhar was addressing a gathering on the release of the book AI on Trial, authored by member of Rajya Sabha Sujit Kumar at Vice President's enclave. Vice President Dhankhar emphasized the need to regulate AI while maintaining the right balance between regulation and fostering innovation. Regulation of AI will determine the kind of society we aspire to be. It has become a most important factor where we will be. Do we wish to become a digital dystopia where humans serve algorithms, or a humane Indian society where technology serves the people? The choice is ours. The choice is well known, Vice President Dhankar noted. Vice President Dhankar stated, regulating artificial intelligence in a daunting, frightening, but imperative. The right balance will have to be struck between regulating artificial intelligence and fostering innovation. This is fundamental. Over regulation can choke like over disciplining a child. We don't have to impede the spirit of entrepreneurship, but at the same time, we have to be extremely cognizant of evil effects. Under regulation can endanger public safety, perpetuate bias, and erode trust. To regulate something that is as dynamic as artificial intelligence, we need an agile and empowered institutional framework. A national artificial intelligence authority or commission, independent but accountable with a representation from government, industry, academia, and civil society, could serve as a think tank. We must therefore design regulation as a scaffold, not a cage. Our goal should be to enable a framework where responsible innovation thrives and sinister designs, pernicious designs are neutralized. A risk based, sector specific, and principle driven approach may serve us in this regard. For instance, the level of scrutiny required for AI used in medical diagnostics should differ from the artificial intelligence creating social media feeds. Impact of artificial intelligence on ordinary citizens must be at the heart of a regulatory regime. An ordinary person will not be able to find solutions on his own. The system must provide automatic inbuilt relief to ordinary citizens. To protect our citizens from the hazards of artificial intelligence, we need enforceable rights such as the right to explanation and the right to contest automated decisions. Decisions are automated. How to contest them? We are not aware, and the right to opt out of algorithmic processing, especially when decisions impact livelihoods, liberty, and dignity, the VP added. Vice President Dhankar cautioned we have to be extremely wary also. AI, the genie, is out of the bottle. It can be extremely destructive. It can create havoc if not regulated. In the age of deep fakes, the workings of a deep state wokeism, these menacing trends can get wings if the genie of artificial intelligence is not regulated. To put it simply, for young minds, nuclear power can give you energy. Nuclear power can lighten houses and run industries, but it can also be destructive, and therefore we have both possibilities before us. He further stated, the regulation of artificial intelligence must be very transparent. It must go hand in hand with reskilling and workforce planning. As artificial intelligence displaces certain tasks, it will, because it has come to your house, come to your office. It does jobs sometimes better than normal resources, and then an impression is gathered. Are we risking the jobs of people who work? Maybe in some situations. This requires that we must invest very heavily in education, vocational training, digital literacy, particularly for those who are marginalized, who are vulnerable, who need hand holding situations. Underlining the importance of cyber sovereignty, Vice President Dhankhar stated, we must assert India's cyber sovereignty as much as we do the sovereignty understood in common parlance. But we have to be aligned to global standards. There can be no standalone activity in such situations. There will have to be global convergence. All stakeholders will have to come on one platform so that we have a global rule based order in the field of artificial intelligence. Speaking about the ramifications of AI in the legal domain, Vice President Dhankar said, artificial intelligence has generated a compulsive scenario for us. It has forced us to re examine existing jurisprudence. Traditional legal concepts like liability or even personhood come under pressure when actions are carried out by autonomous systems. Artificial intelligence opacity challenges legal transparency and accountability principles. Delegating legal interpretation to unexplainable systems undermines a judicial trust. If we use current legal artificial intelligence, we find one deficiency. It lacks comprehensive regulation and oversight. There is an urgent need for standards and safeguards to prevent consequences of unregulated artificial intelligence. Debate continues all over whether artificial intelligence promotes legal consistency or perpetuates historical biases. Justice is at risk, and the risk is great. Judgments can't be robotized. There can be no artificial intelligence replication. Sometimes the distinction is too fine to be detected even by artificial intelligence. It is the brain of the judge, the discerning brain, that finds a resolution. Emphasizing on the significance of meaningful consent, Vice President VP Dhankhar noted our digital. Just a second. Okay, emphasizing on the significance of meaningful consent, Vice President Dhankhar noted our Digital Personal Data Protection Act is a landmark step, but it now has to evolve in a tandem with artificial intelligence regulation. Consent must be meaningful. Those who are lawyers know it. A consent that is not free is the consent in law, and free means real freedom to give you consent. Consent cannot be buried in opaque and abstruse terms of service. I am sometimes surprised when I use my mobile phone and go to some application. There is pressure, and I agree. Now in utter helplessness, you concede a very personal ground unknowingly. You are lured or forced otherwise. The utilization doesn't fructify with ease. Consent cannot be in opaque and abstruse terms of service. Anonymization, data minimization, and a purpose limitation must be rigorously enforced. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you, everyone. Bye.